And we'll now move to our next speaker, who is Adnan Zubaid Khan, who is the head corporate of ICT propositions at Ooredoo Business, who will be speaking about data center ecosystem from an operator perspective.
Hello.
Good afternoon. How is everybody? I think I'm standing between the lunch and you guys. So my presentation will be very quick. And can you make it full screen? That's max, okay. All right. We heard a lot about today from the data center providers. I'm going to talk about more from the operator side. And it's more of how we connect everybody together. So we play a key role in connecting data centers, customers, we sit in between. And I'm going to be talking about generally on the ecosystem of the data center and how do we see it as a service providers. Just more of a insight and high level how we go about doing the things. And trust me, it's going to be a very short presentation. And I'm glad most of the thing which I was going to talk about is already discussed. So it's more of a summary slide for you. And I'm just going to start. Okay, I'm going to be talking about the telco rationale. What do we think? Where do we come from? And how we come into the picture when it comes to the data center. What is a typical data center looks like? What are the telcos' views on the data center when it comes to moving to the next level? What are the different partnerships which is required in order to proceed to the next level? What are the data center drivers? Implementation plan, how we see it when it comes to telco, and more transformation, what is required and what are the key success factors. So telcos, as you know, we focus mainly on fixed mobile connectivity. That's what we come from and that's what we are known for. And we need to grow our core products and services by increasing revenue, either launching new products or enhancing existing products. Second, how we can go and get the new revenue streams. This is where we come in, how we can contribute in making sure we get some market share when it comes to data center, IoT, and ICT. That is the new revenue driver for us as well when it comes to getting more insights. Thirdly, as most of the thing, how we can use our existing customer relationships, because we are managing the customers, we own the customers, we have that relationship. So how we can utilize those relationships in order to upsell products and services. When it comes to, again, all these needs to be competitive. We should be competitive in the market in order to offer the right product at the right price to the customers. When it comes to a typical data center, so this is the data center which we have. This is Ooredoo data center, is in Bosher right now, and in collaboration through Data to Cloud. Data to Cloud is a subsidiary of Ooredoo. Many of you people should know, and if not, Data to Cloud is part of Ooredoo. So in order to grow, in order to get into a different line of business, we have formed Data to Cloud back in 2017. This data center, most of us have already listened and many people have addressed two components. Simple message for you, there's a co-location and there's cloud. Co-location, as everybody says, is rack space is there. Then when it comes to cloud, you have infrastructure, software as service, platform as service. So I think we have listened a lot. Actually, I need a robot myself to absorb all the knowledge, what we discussed today. So these are the two components which drives across all the areas. We as telco come in and connect. We provide the connectivity when it comes to co-location, when it's layer 1, layer 2, layer 3, point-to-point, international connectivity, depending upon the customer needs. Second, lots of people have discussed about the data center. As a telco, we have been in the data center from day one. So we have been hosting all the data which our customers have, all our switches, routers, everything in our data center. So as you have seen, most of the telcos, they have evolved by utilizing their existing data center. Similar thing with Ooredoo. What we have done, we have our own data center. We went and commercialized it, some bits and pieces of it, learned, and again went back. The next step which telcos are looking at is of partnerships. How we can leverage partnerships in order to drive innovative solutions. As you have seen today, everybody here is, so many companies are here today. So everybody has some unique selling points. So for us, how we can merge together, make partnership, and try to help each other. This is the key thing which we need to look at it when it comes to telco. Long term, we have our own subsidiary. Most of the telcos, whether it's other telcos operator in Oman, outside of Oman, they have formed their own telco in order to address the market. So we cannot do everything together by addressing our own market. So we had formed Data to Cloud to address specifically data center market. So this is where we specialize in focus, and similar to other companies as well. So this is the overall telco's view. It comes along in each of these three lines. So some are already at the advanced level, some are in the mid level. Again, it all depends upon the investment, how much they can invest. So the key thing which was discussed today or missed also is a business case. What is the business case required? Is it profitable? So this is what it is driving the market. Today in Oman, 4.2 million. If it's 10 million or like Saudi 30 million, it would have been a different case. So all dynamics changes based on the surroundings, based on the environment. Stressing on partnerships. So this is where the key growth areas are for all of us. So here today I'm representing as a telco, not specifically Ooredoo. So how all of us can benefit. There are SMEs, there are corporates, there are different service providers, there are data service providers, there are people who are doing application development. So for us, we don't need to do it. We don't need to make it. We don't need to buy it. We can partner it. The key message which I'm trying to give it here is you can increase your sales by partnering with your customers or through partners. You can have new solutions and bundling of the solutions with other managed services. This is where most of the speakers, they are referring to managed service. This is where the value add is coming in there. As an operator, or as one service provider, you come to us only. We deliver everything, one-stop shop solution to you. So you don't need to call, whether there's a connectivity issue, there's a data service issue, my data is not uploading, I have another services, how I can go about. So you don't need to call 3-4 people. You just come in there, and this is where the trend is going, the managed services. Of course, cost will be higher because as the other participant rightly said, there is a cost of doing that business as well. And then you need to look at the experience which you're getting. So all of us pay for the experience. So some providers, I'm diverging, Apple, Google, Android. So there are two users. One is high end, one is low end. Some goes with experience, some goes with the functionality. So there is different market segments when we try to address. And large projects as well. Today, government and corporates, they have large projects. How we can come in there? So each and everybody comes in with a different functionality, different things which they own. So we can partner with them and participate that. Most of the RFPs are coming up there. How you can build everything together. And lastly, multinational companies who is outside Oman, how we can partner, how we can deliver, how we can grow, how we can compete. Again, all boils down to partnership. We need to focus on a lot more on partnership where everybody is a winner, and eventually it will grow your revenue as well. One back. Next one, please. Next. Yes, so now data center. So what does customer want here? We have already talked about data service providers have lots of things. So what does customer want today? Today, if they are looking for a data center, they are looking for locally hosted with low latency. They are also looking for no capex. They don't want to pay upfront. They are looking for OpEx model. And then again, it needs to be residency laws needs to be compliant with in order to deliver the service. And there are government entities. For SMEs, it's a different story. SMEs can go outside as well, but most of the government entities, they need to abide by laws and regulations here. So we need to look at different market segments, how we are addressing those customers. Bandwidth, unmetered bandwidth, they are looking for, they don't want to be charged for the bandwidth. Today, connectivity is there, but I'm paying, I need unmetered bandwidth. Anybody can come in and anybody can download and access my site. So we should not be charging them when it comes to the bandwidth. Self-service portal, flexibility, they can do all the provisioning themselves, one-touch provisioning. So these are the things they are looking at. Enterprise grade, so most of the tenants as private cloud, public cloud. So from theirs, from the customer point of view, they would like to host and their data needs to be secured, and how we can accommodate those services and those requirements to the customers. Lastly, data center needs to be compliant. So this is what they're looking at. In the previous presentations, they have different tiers. So tier 3 compliant. What are the different ISO certification they are looking at? When those are done, it means you are following the rules and regulation and you are compliant by that. So this is the needs of the business, what they want, and data center providers should be able to address these requirements in order to move forward with the next things. Second, now how telcos execute. So today we have talked about a lot of product knowledge about the next level. When it comes to actually making the product out, so there are different steps involved. First step is market analysis. Do we have the market size there? What is required? So today, this is the first thing, like market sizing and assessment. How many customers are there? Is it going to be profitable or not? And when it comes to how you're going to design the service, what kind of services are required? Whether they want virtual machines, they want other services, they want data club together. So what kind of bundling services and offering can be done? So these are the studies we do when we go and build any product. And when it comes to data center and cloud, what core focus areas? What are the core focus areas and what are the key activities are done? So if you look at here, building products and services, portfolio, what is required, and we cannot do everything at once. So you need to look at bits and pieces, because when you do everything at once, again, there's a cost implication is there. So you cannot address. Again, it becomes your business case negative. Platform, what kind of platform is required? It is a platform, it is scalable. Can we move forward, as I say, from one OS to another OS, and how that can be done? Lastly, on the infrastructure side, OLAs, SLAs, what is required? Can we be able to deliver those OLAs and SLAs? Because when customer demands an uptime, everybody is asking for 99.999. So we should be able to deliver those SLAs to the customers, and if we not, there is a penalty. We should be able to pay. This is how the data centers are run today, and it should be able to provide us the same flexibility. Lastly, huge efforts are required when it's go to market. When you're looking at from the sales side, pre-sales side, solutioning aspect, data center services is not like one size fits all. As most of us have heard, that each customer has different requirements. When it comes to corporate, government, different requirements. So you cannot address it. SMEs, yes, you can have one package up there, keep on running, and they can do it. But for the government, it's a different requirement. So this is how telco and how any of the product development works within us when we take it any product in the market. Next is transformations. As most of us heard today, transformations are required, and this is within telco as well. Sheikh Abdullah would agree with me. He has been with us longer time, that how we want to transform people. So today we are selling fixed services, mobile services. It is not the same as selling cloud services. So there is a different mindset which is required. I mean, all of us can agree the knowledge on cloud service is very limited within all of us. So a lot of efforts is required to train the people. When it comes, train the customer as well. and train sales, pre-sales, how that's going to come up there. So the markets, we need to transform all of our people. When it comes to process, a lot of things, because customer satisfaction, when it comes to product development, we need to look at capability development, because each and every customer is looking for a different solutions. You cannot have one size fits all. So approach needs to change. This is where when telco comes up there, they have been there for the last 20 years, 30 years. Agility, agile processes needs to be done. How that's going to be improved. So this requires a lot of effort and time. So that's another reason we are a little bit slow in catching up the market. And it's not us, it's telcos outside as well. Next is sales, how the sales are reactive, proactive sales. Because today we all are customers here. Who is coming to us to buy our service when it comes to data centers specifically? Nobody. How you're attracting, you are approaching them, right? So there needs to be a mechanism how we are attracting to you, how it's going to be cost effective, or what kind of message we are giving, what kind of awareness. Today, I mean, all of us, including us today, how many times you have heard about cloud services, up there, whether you heard the message, but everybody talks about Amazon. Amazon is again selling the same thing, but we never heard about selling the rack space, the cloud, the infrastructure. They are selling the experience, the use case. So this is where we need to get it to. Like, what's in it for us? Because I need to see it, because all of us doesn't need to be part of the technical knowledge. We just need to know how things works. So there's a lot of efforts required in processing as well. So this comes about delivery as well, comes about how we're going to develop the products. Again, digital experience. Digital is huge. So again, digital varies from company to company. I've already talked about the products, and then partnership, which we discussed. So today we are reactive. We want to be proactive in order to move forward to the next partnerships. It's like both partners, operators, data service provider needs to come together. Hey, I have this one. Can you do something? Or you need to look at, as rightly say, innovative. What are the different innovations we are doing today? Because this market needs a different mindset. We cannot compare, or we cannot have the same thing which North America and Europe is doing. We are in a different environment here. Our culture is different. Agility, speed to agility is different. We have different rules and regulations. So something needs to happen along those lines. My last slide, I told you I was going to be very quick. So last slide is, what are the key success factors in order to making sure we execute things properly and as per our business plan? Market sizing is very key. So is it, whatever we are doing is, we need to address the market. Is there a market there? Am I able to address the market? Can I be able to provide same services with the same price? Because price is the key thing. But what is happening today is, yes, it happened outside, I want that. So sometimes we are pushed to do it, the launch, just for the sake of the launch. But when it comes to the price, this is not the right price, because you just checkbox. So those decisions needs to be made at all over levels, just to make sure, yes, either you do it properly or don't do it. Service catalog. What does customer want? What is customer priorities? Let's try to address and align on those things which we can take it to the market. Engagement model, partnerships is key. Strategic partnerships are very key. Today, even I was very impressed. Lots of people came in from different service providers, data service. We need to have these events on at least a quarterly basis to get the input. And also we need to bring in regulator also in room, just to address, because most of the concern which was raised today needs to be addressed to regulated as well, because we are in a regulated market. We cannot make our own products and services. So we are following set of rules. So, and also, to be honest, pandemic helped a lot. If you talk about Facebook, talk about Google, Classroom, we have WebEx, we have Zoom, they were not open. So climates, geographical reason, and they make a difference. So now I'm pretty sure if someone tells us, okay, it's blocked, it will change our life, because it will not be the same. So we need to bring in all these things and try to work together. Lastly, go to market. We need to have a clear strategy to focus on customer. What does customer wants? What they need? And then all of us will be happy and we'll grow our revenue. Thank you very much.
Thank you for that, Adnan. That was a great speech, and especially like the part about the capability and the training that is required when you're using these new systems. Also regarding the regulation, which there'll be some discussions on regulation in the upcoming sessions, but in the future, it's also something we would like to have more of in these events.